Imagine being one of the most famous people on the planet and wanting nothing to do with it. That's Robert Pattinson. Right now, in 2026, he's everywhere. He's on your social media feed. He's in your cinema. He's in A24 films, Christopher Nolan epics, and DC blockbusters, all at the same time. But here's what makes him different from every other big star in Hollywood right now. He never chased any of it. This is the full story of how a shy boy from London became a $100 million empire, and why the biggest roles of his life are only just beginning. Robert Douglas Thomas Pattinson was born on May 13, 1986, in Barnes, London. He was a quiet kid, the kind who preferred books over crowd. He was a bit shy growing up, but that changed when he joined a local theatre club at age 15. Acting became his way to break out of his shell, and once that door opened, it never closed. He was selected to join the Harry Potter universe of Cedric Diggory, the brave, kind student who meets one of the most shocking endings in the entire franchise. It was a small role, but people noticed him. Then 2008 arrived, and everything changed forever. Twilight hit cinemas, and the world lost its mind. The 5 Twilight films grossed more than $3.3 billion globally. Robert was on magazine covers, talk shows, billboard, and bedroom walls across every continent. Overnight, he went from a London theatre kid to the most talked about young actor on the planet. But here's where the story gets interesting. Most actors in that position would have held on tight. They would have done Twilight spin-offs. They would have stayed safe. They would have protected the brand. Robert Pattinson did the exact opposite. The moment Twilight ended, Robert walked away from the biggest franchise in the world and into the strangest, darkest, most uncomfortable films he could find. He went to places most A-list actors are too scared to go. He did Good Time, a raw, chaotic crime film where he played a desperate man running through New York at night. No vampires, no romance, no big studio safety net, just pure uncomfortable storytelling. Then came The Lighthouse, one of the most unusual films of the last decade. Shot in black and white, 2 men, 1 lighthouse, slowly losing their minds. He later said about the films, he could see it was really good, but he felt a real risk doing it. He took that risk anyway. Critics who had spent years dismissing him as the Twilight guy suddenly had to sit down and rethink everything. This wasn't a lucky performance. This was a man who had been quietly building himself into one of the best actors of his generation, while the world wasn't paying close enough attention. Then, in 2022, the world paid attention. When it was announced that Robert Pattinson would play Batman, the internet had thoughts, loud thoughts. People laughed, people protested, people forgot that the same thing happened when Heath Ledger was cast as the Joker. Then the film came out. The Batman made $369 million in the United States alone and $772 million worldwide. But the money wasn't even the biggest story. The performance was. Robert didn't play the Batman people expected. He played a broken, obsessive, rain-soaked detective who was barely holding himself together. He wore eyeliner. He rode a motorbike through flames. He made Bruce Wayne feel human in a way audiences had never seen before. It was reported that Pattinson earned $3 million for his first Batman film, a surprisingly modest amount for a film that size. But he wasn't doing it for the money. He was doing it because he believed in the vision, and that vision paid off. Now, The Batman Part 2 is set for release in October 1st, 2027. And the cast just got even bigger. Colin Farrell, who plays the Penguin, recently called the script a masterwork, saying it's dense, intelligent, deep, and detailed. And Robert himself, he says the film is taking some big swings and that it will be very, very different from the first one. Gotham is waiting. But before Batman Returns, Robert is making headlines for a completely different reason. Releasing on April 3rd, 2026, the drama is written and directed by Christopher Bogoli and stars Robert Pattinson alongside Zendaya. Robert plays Charlie, a British museum director whose relationship faces a major unexpected crisis just days before his wedding. This is the film your timeline cannot stop talking about right now. So you already know this is not a typical romantic comedy. Critics are calling it Robert's best performance yet. And the pairing with Zendaya has generated the kind of buzz that even the biggest studios cannot manufacture. During a joint press tour interview in March 2026, both Robert and Zendaya were asked about the biggest secret they've been keeping. Zendaya played coy about rumors she secretly married Tom Holland. Then Robert hinted that he and his partner Suki Waterhouse have also quietly tied the knot. Secret weddings, A24 psychological drama, chemistry that changed the script. This is not a normal press tour. Let's talk about what all this is actually worth. As of 2026, Robert Pattinson's net worth is estimated at $100 million. From Twilight alone, his earnings soared to approximately $25 million per sequel, raising his total Twilight earning to over $40 million. Since 2013, he has been the face of Dior Home Fragrance, with the latest contract extension rumored to be worth $12 million. He came from blockbusters. He earns from indie films that win awards. He earns from fashion campaigns that run in every major city in the world. The reason it all works is simple. He used the enormous success of Twilight as a launch pad for financial security, which gave him the freedom to pursue more artistically fulfilling projects. He could afford to say no to safe roles because he had already built the foundation, and that foundation gave him the freedom to become the artist he actually wanted to be. This is the real Pattinson business model, and it's smarter than most people give him credit for. Away from the cameras, Robert Pattinson lives a life that looks nothing like the chaos of his career. Since 2018, he has been with English actress, model and singer Suki Waterhouse. They met at a house party, a game of werewolf, that was also attended by Penelope Cruz. Only Robert Pattinson could have a love story that starts at a party like that. In March 2024, the couple welcomed their first daughter. Robert said after becoming a father, "I feel very old and very young at the same time." He guards his private life the way he guards his craft, with total intention and no apology. No oversharing, no constant red carpet appearances, no reality TV. Just a man raising his daughter, making film he believes in, and showing up when it matters. So where does Robert Pattinson go from here? The answer is everywhere. Christopher Nolan, The Odyssey, one of the most anticipated films of 2026, releases on July 17 and features a cast that includes Matt Damon, Zendaya, Tom Holland, Anne Hathaway, and Charlize Theron. Robert is part of the world. Denise also has him in an antagonist role in Dune Part 3 and then The Batman Part 2 in 2027, with production set to begin in spring 2026 and a release date of October 1st, 2027. Gotham is getting its detective back. No actor in Hollywood right now has a run like this. Greek epic, science fic, psychological drama, A24, Christopher Nolan, DC Comics, all in the same breath. He didn't follow the Hollywood script. He threw it out completely. And in 2026, the world is finally catching up to what Robert Pattinson has known all along. The most interesting career in the room is the one that was never supposed to work. This is Robert Pattinson, and is only just getting started.